Hello everyone, welcome to CSR's UPC online classes. C as in content, S as in strategy, R as in revision. So this is our environment MCQ series. This is our set 3, that is the third set of 10 questions. So let's start. Okay, the first question, consider the following statements. A high altitude butterfly species, that is the red disc bush or bush brown, is discovered in this tiger reserve. Okay. Second statement, Buddha Mayuri, that is a Buddha peacock, recently declared the state butterfly of a particular state is found here. So it means they are giving, like I've given some statements where you need to identify based on the these facts. Now this is found in the Annamalai Hills. Now consider which of the following tiger reserve suits these three statements. Okay, Parambikulam Tiger Reserve, Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve, Periyar Tiger Reserve, and Muddumalai Tiger Reserve. Now all these four tiger reserves are situated in nearby places in South India. Now the thing is, this first statement is in news. That is the bush brown, that is a red disc bush brown, that is a butterfly species, is found here. Now these two statements are factual statements. If you know this current affair, then you can answer. So this is also a very factual and direct question, but it is quite in depth if you do not know exactly, if you haven't gone through the current affairs. So here the answer is the first option, that is the Parambikulam Tiger Reserve. Okay. So Parambikulam Tiger Reserve, that is, it's situated in Kerala. The red disc bush brown, it is a high altitude butterfly species discovered or spotted in this tiger reserve. Now Buddha Mayuri, or it's called as Buddha peacock, it is recently declared as state butterfly of Kerala. Now this is also current affairs. If you know exactly, because lot of butterflies are being considered, like they have been declared by particular states like Maharashtra, Karnataka, even Tamil Nadu. Now Kerala has also recently declared Buddha Mayuri as its state butterfly. Now it's situated in the Annamalai Hills. In particular, the range name is Sangam Range. Now also you can know some more information regarding this Parambikulam Tiger Reserve. It is home to 4 indigenous tribes. You need to know the names. One is Kadar, one is Malasar, one is Mudduvar, and one is Malasar. So these are the things. I guess this much information is enough from prelims point of view, because the UPC can ask anything, because they will take a particular current affair which is in news, but they will ask in-depth questions in particular to that current affair. Okay. Okay, fine. Next question. Consider the following statements. The Biliranganathaswamy Tiger Reserve in Karnataka is the only tiger reserve to house indigenous community, that is called a particular tribe or community, Soligas. Okay, this is a very extreme sentence because only is given. Fine. This tiger reserve is a part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Okay, fine. Third statement, the Biliranganathaswamy temple belongs to Lord Shiva. Now what happens is, in this particular question, what I've done is two statements of basic environment, one statement of art and culture. So it is a mixed question. So first statement, if you see, first statement is like how to solve. The first statement here only is there. So basically what you find is only all are basically wrong. Like usually we think, but UPSC has come to know regarding this particular plan. So they're asking questions which are unique, which are extreme questions, extreme statements, but they are correct. So this statement is correct actually. First statement is correct. It is the only tiger reserve to house this particular community, Soligas. This tiger is a part of Nilgiri. No, because Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is a very common topic. It's a static topic. We know, like in Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, what are the wildlife sanctuary and national park found? I'll tell you now. So this is the wrong statement, because Biliranganathaswamy is not a part of Nilgiri. Biliranganathaswamy temple belongs to Lord Shiva. Now this is also a wrong statement because it belongs to Lord Vishnu. Okay. Now I'll tell you. Now Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Now the answer is only one. So Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve now basically falls or encompasses Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. Okay. Now two extra things I'll tell you. It consists of One is Mudumalai Wildlife Sanctuary. One is Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. You need to know the names. Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary, Bandipur National Park, Karnataka, Bandipur National Park. Then we have Nagarhole National Park. Then we have another one called Mukurthi, Mukurthi, Mukurthi National Park. Then also we have Silent Valley National Park. Okay, Silent Valley National Park. These are the protected areas within the biosphere reserve. Now, this is a common thing. You must be knowing all this. Now you need to do in-depth information, like in-depth study regarding all these individually, because any question can come individually. Now, if they will ask you from Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, out of the three, area-wise, in particular to Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, which has the highest area per square kilometer. So if area per square kilometer they can ask, like to arrange, or a direct question can come. So it will be Tamil Nadu first, around 2537. Then it will be Kerala. Kerala will be 1455 approximate. Then it will be Karnataka. Karnataka will be 1527 point something. So these are a square kilometer. Okay. Square kilometer. So Tamil Nadu number 1, Kerala number 2, third is Karnataka. You have to remember these three. Okay, they can ask you, because nowadays factual questions are coming, and I'll try to put one video on in particular to Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve in some days. Okay, so you can note down these points, because these points are very important from in particular to prelims. These are not important for mains, but prelims, biosphere reserves, wildlife sanctuary, national parks. There are a lot of 18 biosphere reserves. There are a lot of national parks. You need to important national parks which are in news for the last 2 to 3 years. You need to go through each and every detailing you need to do, and just note it down in your copy. Wikipedia is the best source, and lot of sites are also available. You can just go through and make notes. Okay, fine. Let's go to the next question. The same thing I've written. It's not a part of Nilgiri. Belongs to Lord Vishnu. Billiranganatasham is in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu border. The only tiger reserve to house indigenous community, Soligas. Fine. Next question. Consider the following about Shannon-Weiner index. Now, Shannon-Weiner index, if you see this, you might be thinking, what kind of question is this? Like, from where did I find? It is available in economic survey. If you go through economic survey minutely, if you see the graphs and everything, you will get to know. If you have gone through ISFR, now Indian State of Forest report is a very common stuff which each and every aspirant knows it. Now, if you go through in depth to that particular report, you will find this name, or else you can't find this name. Okay, fine. Shannon-Weiner index, basically it's a ecotopic, economic topic, and it's also a environment topic. It's common to both. Okay, fine. First statement, the index is the ratio of the number of species to their importance values, for example, biomass or productivity within a tropic level or community. Okay, now this statement is actually the definition. So this is correct. Okay, now second statement, the ISFR, we all know it is the Indian State for Forest Report 2019 included the Shannon-Weiner index information. Yes, it is correct. If you check the economic survey nicely, each and every detailing if you do, you will find this name in a particular graph. In a particular graph, you will find the Shannon-Weiner name will be there. Okay, for the first time, the ISFR in 2019 made use of the ortho-rectified satellite data for accessing the forest cover. It's a factual information. It is available in every site. So all the three are correct. So Shannon-Weiner index was used recently in ISFR report. Now ISFR report provisions is available everywhere in internet. You can check, and you can check what all growth has happened in tree cover and forest and all those stuff. You can check from here, and it happens every 2 years, and it is published by Forest Survey of India. Okay. because I will put like some difficult questions in my series, so do not expect I will put easy questions on ISFR. That you can check from other test series. Fine. So Shannon Winder index is very important from exam point of view because it is available in it is there in economic survey, so I had included it. The same thing I've written, all are correct. It's a news because it is mentioned in ISFR and also as a graph in economic survey. Now Shannon Winder index of diversity, also it is also called this index of diversity, developed by Claudie E and Shannon and Norbert Wiener. This is the name you need to remember. This is the name. Okay. It is also published in 1949 by Shannon and Warren Weaver. इसका नाम है like 1949. Nothing to remember here. It is used, like this index is used by ecologists when a system contains too many individuals for each to be identified and examined. The index is the ratio of the number of species to their values, to their importance values. That is, it may be biomass or the productivity within a particular trophic level. This is the definition of Shannon-Wiener index. Okay, fine. So next question. Okay, next question is about Kani tribes. Consider the following about Kani tribes. Kani tribes is also in news. They live in Western Ghats area of Kerala and have a rich tradition of using wild plants for health reasons. The tribal physicians called Plathi, P-L-A-T-H-I, are the exclusive holders of the traditional medicinal knowledge of this tribe. Third, according to Kani tribal customs, only the Plathi have the right to transfer their traditional medicinal knowledge. So question number one is, it looks correct, right? Western Ghats mein hai, Kerala pe hai, they have a rich tradition of using wild plants. So we can go with number one. So one is correct. Okay. Second statement, so one is correct. Second statement is, they are the tribal physicians called Plathi are the exclusive holders. Like they have that exclusive hold. Like if you want to commercialize anything, you have to take the permission of this particular tribes. According to Kani tribal customs, only the Plathi have the right to transfer their traditional medicinal knowledge. Now here this looks extreme sentence because only is there, but still then the statement is right. Yes, it is correct. Only the Plathi have the right to transfer their traditional medicinal knowledge. Okay, so all the three are correct. All the above are correct. Let's see the explanation. All are correct. They live in Western Ghats. First of all, they live in Western Ghats of Kerala. So around population is 2,500. Their use of forest plant called Arogya Pacha. Now Arogya Pacha you might have heard because it was in news. Arogya Pacha as a key ingredient in a herbal remedy called Jeevani. Okay, this also can come as an exam, as a standalone question in exam. Jeevani. So एक फॉरेस्ट प्लांट आरोग्य पचा वो यूज होता है एक हर्बल रेमेडी में जिसका नाम है जीवनी. इट वाज नोटेड by visiting scientists in the 1980s. बहुत सारे scientists were visiting that particular area and they found it. Okay, they have a rich tradition of using wild plants for health reasons. The tribal physicians called Plathi are the exclusive holders of the traditional medicinal knowledge of the tribe. Now this topic is actually linked with a static topic. That static topic is called biopiracy. Now biopiracy is nothing but related to the, now we also have an act, we also have a law which deals with biopiracy. That law name is Biodiversity Act of 2002. Biodiversity Act of 2002. And it has come from a convention because we have signed and ratified United Nations Convention of Biodiversity, CBD. It's come from the Rio Summit. Okay, according to Kani tribal customs, only the Plathi have the right to transfer their traditional medicinal knowledge. A recently discovered species of tree-dwelling carp has been named Kani Magzanjandu after the tribe. This is the name. Okay, it is a tree-dwelling carp. So this name can come, and they can ask, like, is it a butterfly species? It is a tree-dwelling carp species, or it is a like invasive species? Anything they can ask in wrong options. Okay, medicines by Plathi can be commercialized. They can be commercialized, but if you want to commercialize, if you want to take and use the medicines which are used by Plathi, then you have to go via the law, go via the provisions mentioned in the Biodiversity Act of 2002, like the National Biodiversity Authority approval is required Okay, because nobody can take the biological resources, because usually biopiracy happens. They will come from the foreigners will come, they will use our they will use our bio resources, and they will go to foreign country and commercialize it without giving any benefit to us. That is why UNCBD is the convention which deals with this problem, that is called biopiracy. And so India has ratified or made an act that is called the Biodiversity Act of 2002. I'll be making a lot of questions on this act, very tricky questions. Like after in the next sets, I'll be framing. Okay, so go through these acts, because these acts are very important from exam point of view. There are around 7 to 8 acts in environment, like Wildlife Protection Act, Biological Diversity Act, FRA Act, Forest Conservation Act, Indian Forest Act of 1927, Conservation Act of 1980, Forest Conservation Act, then EP Act of 1986. A lot of acts are there. You need to go to each and every act in detail. Fine. Next. Okay, consider the following statements. The costs of decarbonization report is published by UNEP. As you all know, every year or alternative year, one report question will come. Okay, the cost of decarbonization report is published by UNEP. Second statement, in adherence to the Paris Agreement, the OECD countries also agreed to aim for a reduction of their greenhouse gas emissions to 2 degrees Celsius. So second statement looks so okay, because Paris Agreement ke antargat OECD countries have agreed. Yes, they have agreed. They have independently agreed. Like nothing under the Paris Agreement, but they have adhered to the Paris Agreement. Okay, separately. The first question is, the cost of the decarbonization report is published by which of the following? Now here you need to, now it's a factual. Either UNEP also, you may go with UNEP because it looks, decarbonization, usually UNEP does environment, United Nations Environment Program usually deals with all this, but still then the answer is wrong. The answer is wrong because this report is by OECD only. This report is by OECD. Okay. So this report is by OECD, and through this report only they have like they have agreed. Okay, we'll be doing our part to combat global warming or climate change in particular. Okay. So this report is published by OECD under the Paris Agreement. The OECD countries also agreed to aim for a reduction of their greenhouse gas emissions to 2 degrees Celsius. Like it is independent. OECD countries only, and India is not a member of OECD countries. OECD countries is a IR topic. I'll be covering in my IR playlist. You can check. I've covered only 2, ASEAN and ICJ have covered, but I'll be covering more stuffs in the future. Okay, fine. Next. Okay, recently news cordyceps. Now, what is cordyceps? Cordyceps is related to which of the following? Now, see the word cordyceps. It looks like, if you do not know, so it becomes very difficult to answer, because what happens is UPS will always put options which looks very familiar. They will put, for example, I have put here invasive species, antibiotic, fungus, algae. So all the 4 options are very common. So you can't guess here. Guessing will not work. Either you have to leave the question and come. Okay. But because options are so common, so basically it will lure you to guess and attend the wrong one. For example, many people will go because it looks like a invasive species, so you'll go with invasive species. It is wrong. You may go with antibiotic. It looks, but the real answer here is fungus. Okay, the real answer is fungus. But what kind of fungus and what exactly this cordyceps is, that also you need to know, because question can come in any format. Okay. Basically, cordyceps is a caterpillar fungus. Okay, it's a caterpillar fungus, commonly known as the Himalayan Viagra. Its name is, scientific name is Ophiocordyceps sinensis. People living on both sides of McMahon line, that is India-China border, are often said to cross over. They usually come each other, like they will go this side and the Chinese will come this side, because it's available there. It's available in that particular area to cross over to collect herbs such as cordyceps. Now, these are found in the alpine pasture lands of Himalayas. In that particular area, it is found. Now, why they do it? Why they take it? Why they come across the border and take it? Because it acts as an energy booster. Okay. Now, what happened is Chinese long distance runners, they're suspected. Now, it is because of this statement, it is in news. They are suspected of consuming cordyceps to improve their performance on track. Because it is an energy booster, there is a suspect. Okay, they're using this. Okay, so that's what is in news. Fine. Next, the term adaptations communications. Now, the term adaptation communications was established with which of the following? See the options: Paris Agreement, Kigali Agreement, Montreal Protocol, COP 25 Madrid, that is of UNFCCC. COP had happened recently, okay, in 2019 December, because 2020 did not happen because of pandemic. So here Paris is very common, Kigali Agreement is very common, Montreal is very common, even they can put Kyoto also. So now it is related to Paris Agreement. Now you must have gone through Paris Agreement. Paris Agreement is a very big agreement. Lot of things, lot of frameworks are there. The more you read, the more MCQ you do, you will get to know. Because each and everything you can't find in a particular book. There is no single book in this world which can give you all the information. It can never ever happen. So adaptation communications. Now what is adaptation communication? Nothing. Everyone know ki under the Paris Agreement, the countries need to report. You have to report. That is the reporting aspect. You have to report what you are doing. You have to report it back. You have to report it to the UNFCCC Secretariat. Okay, what India is doing perspective Paris Agreement, what it is doing, you have to report it right on a regular basis, maybe 2 year, 3 year. There are different reporting techniques. So that particular mechanism is called adaptations communications. Like how much you are adapting, that you need to communicate to whom? To UNFCCC Secretariat under which protocol? That is the Paris Agreement. And everyone must be knowing whether Paris Agreement is binding or non-binding. So if somebody will ask you whether Paris Agreement is binding or non-binding, Paris Agreement. First of all, Paris Agreement and Kyoto Protocol. Okay, Kyoto Protocol is binding. Kyoto Protocol is binding because binding on developed countries. Because Kyoto Protocol has nothing to do with developing countries. It is not binding on them. They can do, but it is not binding on them. It is binding on developed countries. Paris Agreement is for both developed and developing. It is for both developed and developed. But whether is it binding or not binding? First of all, it is both. It is both. Like it is binding also. It is non-binding also. Now, where it is binding and where it is non-binding. First of all, in non-binding, like it is up to the country to set targets. It is up to the country to set targets. There is no hard and fast rule. But in Kyoto, there is a set target you need to follow. Here, India has a different target. Other countries have different targets. Okay. So this is non-binding. But in binding, the reporting aspect is binding. You have to report. If you are setting a target, you have to report it. The reporting aspect is binding in Paris Agreement. Remember this. Okay. So it has both aspects. So just note it down. If you know, it's fine. If you do not know this, it's good to learn new things. Those are preparing, those have started preparation. Those are like their processes just started. They can just note it down. It will work very nicely in your preparation. It will add, it acts as an add-on to your notes. Okay. Fine. Next. Same thing I've written here. It was established in the Paris Agreement of UNFCCC 2015. It is an important element. This ACE, adaptation communication, is an important element of the Paris Agreement, which requires that each parties submit. Check the word submit and update periodically an adaptation communication. It's kind of a report which would include their adaptation priorities, their implementation, their support, their needs, their plans, their actions, everything, what the country needs, how they are doing, what are the schemes, what extra we need, what support we need, what funding we need, what we are doing, everything will report, it will submit and update periodically. This particular framework is called adaptation communications. Okay, fine. Next question is, okay, the Bhimbetka Caves is situated in which of the following wildlife sanctuary? Now, fine. First of all, Bhimbetka Caves is a topic of ancient history. You must have gone through ancient history. I will be starting very soon the ancient history MCQ series, which will be on the lines of this environment and modern history. The level will be very high. Okay, fine. So it is situated in where? Ratpani Wildlife Sanctuary, Bandhavgarh, Nauradahi, Kuno Wildlife Sanctuary. All are part of Madhya Pradesh. So how to guess? You can't guess. If you know, you know. If you do not know, you don't know. Fine. So the answer here is Ratpane Wildlife Sanctuary. Now it is also news because it will be it will be a tiger reserve very soon. It will be the, I guess, sixth or the seventh tiger reserve of Madhya Pradesh. You can check whether it is sixth or seventh. Exactly, I do not know, but it's 100% sixth or seventh. Okay, fine. So it is. It will be the next tiger reserve of Ratpani Tiger Reserve. So here Bhimbedka caves are found. Okay. So this particular tiger reserve and wildlife sanctuary also is in news. So you can just do some detailing of Ratpani Wildlife Sanctuary. If you are doing self-study, if you are doing self-study, you can do this detailing. Do it alone. Do check Wikipedia, check some sites, get the relevant information, put it in your notes. Next. Consider the following about the general bathymetric chart of the oceans that is called JEBCO. So it is also a part of environment. Yeah, you can also say it's a part of IR. So international relations also, but it is related to environment. That's why I have put it here. So first statement, it is the only environmental body or intergovernmental body with a mandate to map the entire sea floor. तो ये बोल रहा है कि entire sea floor को ये map करेगा, एकमात्र intergovernmental body है. Now the statement is very because only statement is there. The statement is very extreme. Fine, we'll see. It functions under the International Maritime Organization (IMO). Now second statement uh, looks good because okay fine. If you do not know like how UPSC can trap you, I'm trying to say, because it is about general. If you know, it's fine. If you do not know, then how we can trap you, because it is general bathymetric chart of the ocean. So you may think because it is ocean name is there, so International Maritime Organization may under like may administer it, or it can be working under that, but it is actually wrong statement. Okay, second statement is wrong. It looks right, but it is wrong. The first statement looks wrong, but it is right. It is the only intergovernmental body. There are other NGOs and other stuffs there. There are okay, fine. But the only intergovernmental body with a mandate to map the entire seafloor. Intergovernmental body means where governments, where countries' governments are members. Okay, it is intergovernmental body. So the answer is only one. So if the answer is only one, then it functions. Then what is the correct statement? It functions like the statement 2. It functions under IM. It is wrong. It functions under UNESCO IOC, Intergovernmental Oceanic Commission. You need to know because it is also a United Nations agency or United Nations organization or agency, you can say. Fine. So statement one is an extreme, but it is correct. Statement 2 does not look extreme, but it is wrong. It functions jointly under the International Hydrographic Organization and UNESCO IOC. Now, UNESCO IOC is UNESCO Intergovernmental, I for Intergovernmental, O for Oceanic, and Commission. Intergovernmental Oceanic Commission. There is also separate another IOC that is called Indian Ocean Commission. Do not confuse with Indian Ocean Commission. This is different. Indian Ocean Commission and UNESCO IOC is different. It is United Nations body. It is a separate intergovernmental body. Here India is not a part. India is not a member of Indian Ocean Commission. Indian Ocean Commission came in 1982 from the Victoria Agreement. Victoria Agreement. Okay, 1982 or 84, you can check. And it is a group. It's like ASEAN only, but it is a group of the Indian Ocean countries like Seychelles, Mauritius, Madagascar, Reunion Islands. Okay, Indian Ocean, the states in Indian Ocean. So that is Indian Ocean Commission. It is an IR topic I'll be covering in future, but do not confuse with UNESCO IOC and Indian Ocean Commission. Okay. So just keep watch the full video, because why I'm saying, because I give some extra information. If you forward it and see, you may miss it. So watch the full video so that you can get some extra points, because it is very difficult to type everything. Okay. because basically it takes time also to type everything. So I type the limited part and I speak it so that you can make your own notes from there so that we can save time. Okay. Next question, last question. Consider the following statements about ocean energy systems, OES. It is a news. It is a conventional news. You like you may not find it, but it's actually in news. The real students, the real aspirants, 100% they might be knowing about it, but those are just studying normal stuffs. Just studying normal stuff, they can't like attend these kind of questions. It is an intergovernmental collaboration between countries for research and development to harness energy from all forms of ocean renewable energy. Fine, it looks. If you do not know, also you can attend because this statement you can attend. Okay, you can go with statement one because it is ocean energy system, so maybe it is an intergovernmental collaboration between the countries, between many countries who do research and development to harness energy from ocean renewable energy, in particular ocean. Second statement, it operates under the framework established by Energy International Energy Agency. Now, IEA. Now, IEA is a separate inter-IR topic I'll be covering. It was formed in 1974. Okay, fine. We'll come to that. Third, India is a member of Ocean Energy Systems, but not a member of IEA. So if you have gone through IEA in your IR subject, you 100% know कि this is correct. This particular thing is correct. India is not a member of IEA. So if India is not a member of IEA, so you can guess कि okay, India may not be a member of ocean energy systems if statement 2 is correct, because if statement 2 is correct, it operates under the framework of IEA, and you know India is not a member of IEA, so you may think कि India is also not a member of ocean energy systems, so you may put this statement as wrong, third statement as wrong, and you can go with 1 and 2. Okay, but this is a wrong statement. Statement third is also right. India is not a member of IEA, but that does not mean that India is not a member of any of the framework of IEA. Because India is a associate member. Is not a clear member, it is an associate member of IEA. In 2017 it got its status. It is not a member. Because why it is not a member? It is an associate member. To become a member of IEA, you have to be a member of OECD, which India is not. Okay, which India is not. So here all the three are correct. So these are the forms of question where UPSC tries to trap you. This is the particular like you can say format. Questions will not be direct. If you are thinking questions will be direct, then you are in the wrong path. Then you need to understand UPSC prelims first. It is not that easy to clear UPSC prelims. You have to have very strong mindset to understand how they are putting the questions. Okay. Okay, the same thing I have written. All are correct. Statement third was tricky, but it's correct. Question number one is straight to the point. You can know option number one. Option number two is factual. So if you know about IEA properly, you'll be able to solve this, because India is not a member of IEA. Because to become a member of IEA, membership of OECD is required, which India is not, because India is not a member of OECD right now. OECD has 34 countries, 34 or 35 countries. Option 3 is tricky because the unique fact is that India is a member of OES, which itself comes under the framework of IEA. But India is not a member of IEA. India is an associate member of IEA. Okay. Okay, fine then. You can check, you can go to my website and check all the test, some free stuffs are there, some subscription based PDFs are there. You can, as per your liking, you can go and check. You can just go through. Okay, this is the website, csrclasses.in. I'll be starting a modern history topic again, because some people are saying to start modern history again in my class. So anyone, if you want to join modern history, you can just contact me. For contact, you need to visit my site, or you can go to my Telegram, and in the bio you can check my number, it's there. Okay, okay, fine, thank you.